to ministers yesterday, saying they should extend their voucher scheme for another 6 weeks.
Because of COVID, the situation's been completely different for everyone in the world. So, circumstances change. So I think, for at least summer holidays, they have to be willing to make that decision.
Transport Secretary Grant Shapps insists financial support is being made available for struggling families. Around 64,500 more people than usual have now died across the UK during the coronavirus outbreak. But the Office for National Statistics says COVID-19 related deaths in England and Wales have fallen to their lowest since lockdown began. 1,588 were registered in the 7 days to June the 5th. 2 new cases of coronavirus have been confirmed in New Zealand, just days after the country declared itself COVID-free. Both women, who are from the same family, had travelled from the UK via Australia. They'd been given permission to leave managed quarantine early to attend a parent's funeral. Scientists will begin testing a possible COVID-19 vaccine on humans this week. Researchers from University College London will start the clinical trial on 300 people. And next year's BAFTA ceremony has been pushed back. The event will now be held in April instead of February to give productions more time to be released and considered properly. That's the latest. I'm Robin Montague.
Asian Star 101.6 FM weather.
Asian Star 101.6 FM weather today. Dry start day with light winds, plenty of warm sunshine, scattered showers, highs of 25 Celsius tonight. Any showers slowly dying away during the evening, followed by a largely dry night, lows of 11 Celsius. That's the weather across the Asian Star Radio region.
Asian Star 101.6 FM weather. Asian Star Radio, now with more listeners, more power, and across 4 huge platforms, on FM, online, on mobile. This is Asian Star Radio.
This programme is sponsored by the Vitality and Rejuvenation Clinic, IVA SL09DB. Call Manjit Kaur on 01753 651 475 or 07988 637 295. Email Manjit at manjitkaur51@yahoo.co.uk.
Asian Star 101.6 FM online, on mobile and DAB across Manchester and Birmingham on DAB Plus and on our Asian Star Radio app. This is Asian Star Radio. Good afternoon, 16th of June, Tuesday. It's the Vitality and Health Show with Manjeet, who is our guest and our host. She's here once again for another great program of some fantastic tips on life, healthy lifestyle and healthy living, according to Manjeet. Manjeet, good afternoon. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good. What do we have in store on the program today in terms of healthy lifestyle?
Lifestyle, but also working with a condition that is very troublesome to all genders and ages, and athletes or dancers or ballerinas or Olympic players or hockey players or rugby players or football players and elders and juniors and seniors, knees.
Oh, yeah, very important part of the body that we neglect very often.
Yeah, very complex joint too.
Yeah, holds up the whole body, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I mean, from thigh to literally to the lower leg, the knee is one of the largest and the most complex joints in the body. So the knee joins the thigh bone, which is the femur, to the shin bone, which is the tibia, and the smallest bone that runs alongside the tibia is the fibula and the knee cap, patella. So a lot of people might have heard कि तोड़ी चपनी, तोड़ी गोडे दी चपनी खराब होगी या कस गई. Yeah, that is very traditional way of saying कि it's lost its the shock absorber in between. So. Right. End up with clicky joints. You might hear somebody getting up and sitting down, getting that creaking noise. Yeah. And that's when there's a loss of some very vital fluids which are there. And it goes same with your car. If you don't have shock absorbers, it's suddenly going to go a bit of a bumpy ride, isn't it?
Yeah. So what can one do to avoid such things or help it?
All that is given more towards the end, but let's stay with this condition and how people get it, Hannah. and for them to understand the complexity of this joint, which is wear and tear, and especially in this 20th century, it's just become worse and worse. And like we said, it's athlete, dancers, gymnastics, football players, rugby players are the most. In fact, my son had to give up. He was a very good rugby player, and he had to give up the sports because of the injury.
Really?
And
Okay.
it did come back to him about 4 weeks ago, but it's gone away again. So
Right.
just gave him some advice on that, and he was back to normality. So as it's the most complex joint, it also has an amazing connection of tendons and bones to the leg muscles that move the knee joint backward and forward, and it prevents the femur from going backwards to the tibia. Otherwise our leg would go far back. It's amazing how God has made this. And then there's a ligament in the femur that just helps us sliding forward,
Yeah, sure.
and then there is the lateral ligament that prevents the femur from sliding side to side as well. It's like a C-shaped piece of a cartilage, which is a shock absorber in the femur and the tibia. And there's a lot of fluid filled there in the sac that helps the knee to move smoothly. And that's when people say, "Ke mera knee kas gaya, ja mera joint dry ho gaya," है ना? What is the role of the knees to support the whole body, है ना? Obviously, not forgetting from knee down, you got the foot as well, and that serves extremely important role. So especially when people are obese or overweight, they might find their knees are playing up, and they are putting them even through more pressure through walks, runs, and jumps. So knee pain is very common in sports injury and wear and tear day-to-day lifestyle as well. But before, it was about 80s, now it is like in 20s, children are getting knee joints, knee pains. We are treating all sorts of ages, and especially when people have had sports injury and don't want to go for surgery that they know is going to take much longer, or leave scar tissues for them to not to be able to compete for another 6 months or so. But it can come from even injuries and sprains, or swollen ligaments, that your knee would be very hot or sometimes very cold. And these spots of injuries can then stay there for a long time and eat up that and dry up that joint and create even more pain when you have movement. But knee pain could also be due to arthritis, to osteoarthritis. It could be also due to gout problems. So if you are on very heavy red meat, then become mindful that you need to be careful of what foods you eat. And sometimes the knee pain could be tendinitis or overuse, causing a swelling in the tendons or the bands. It's like a stretchable tissue of a band that connects with the bones and the muscles. Amazing what God has created, isn't it?
Indeed.
Yeah, especially when people are in sports of basketball, gymnastics, and dancers, they jump too much, and as their feet stomp back onto the ground, there is a big shock. And now the great thing is we've got some amazing sports shoes, aren't they? They
Yes,
take the
they help.
shock.
Indeed.
Yeah, amazing that you can need to spend a little extra to buy shoes that can that give you that jump and that softness, so that when you bounce back top and bottom, then you don't get that shock to the knee surging. And then there are fragments of bones that can chip away in the knee injury, that can break up like little crystals, and it will cause you a lot of pain. And these broken pieces of bones can be so many stuck together, and they're like shrapnels, of glass.
Wow.
And that's when sometimes the doctors have to open up the knee and give it a good wash, and then just a few stitches and you're ready to go. Causing of knee to freeze up, and pain and acute swelling could also be to housemaids or in the knee area called bursitis. So there's so many names to these conditions that can arise, causing a long-term kneeling. If you are bending a lot and kneeling a lot, that can be a trigger. Repetitive movements as well, and the fluid will build up in this area of the sac, and that cushioning area, like you put your head on the pillow to get that support, that will disperse. And that swelling behind the kneecap is then called Baker's cyst as well.
Right, let's take a phone call and see who's on the line. Good afternoon. Hello.
Oh, hi. Good afternoon. My name is Balji, calling from Slough.
Yeah, hi.
Oh, hi. I just wanted to know, I've got Achilles problem. On my right hand foot is quite bad, and the left is quite painful as well. So I'm just wondering if there's anything you can recommend.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, your good name?
Balji.
Baljeet, hi.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
so much for.
Baljeet.
Yeah, Achilles tendon is very painful, and it's a little rubber that stretches at the back of your heel that creates, that movement and ease. So the moment you stomp down, it could be very painful. Yes, we do preparation and also a cream application that can stop that pain. So if you can connect with me on my mobile, we'll run that throughout the show, and
Yes, please.
we'll contact you after the show, Baljeet. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to put the phone down.
Yes.
And if you can,
Yes.
just in 1 minute, if you can repeat me your number, then I'll feed it in.
Thank you so much, Baljeet. We'll do that, and then you can give me
Okay.
a call back.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Yeah.
Right, so thank you for the phone call. So we're going to continue now. We're talking about the knee today.
And that
Very
was knee down. So that's at the back of the
yes.
ankle, and
Okay.
that could be very painful
Very important part of the body. Anyway,
as well.
yes.
And that's a little rubber stretcher thing that just
Yeah.
stretches. Imagine that can cause so much grief for years on end. We get people who have been working in airports and probably have even bought about 40 pairs of shoes.
Wow.
And still not feeling settled until they come for treatment, and then they are bouncing back and racing back to work. But everything takes time. Don't leave things to too late, especially injuries and or arthritis conditions, or it can also lead to bleeding in the knee joint, leakage of this fluid where it affects the blood vessels around the ligament, and that can cause the knee to feel very warm or stiff, or bruised or swollen. So many different factors can affect it. No one person will be with the same symptoms. So always it's varied, Hannah.
Yeah,
Um, Obviously, sometimes these conditions need a hospital treatment. Sometimes they would say keep a bag of ice or a bag of frozen peas just to freeze that area. But with alternative treatment, they are great results. There's been knee joints from 20 to 80 years of age now is also due to causes of excess sugar. Yeah, which actually becomes an acid, and that actually starts eating away your joints. Jida kor lag gaya, hai na? And
yeah,
that
yeah.
can start creating sediment, fragment of your knee patella joint. Avoiding foods like teas and too much coffee and milk, and when there's not enough water, that also can affect and trigger off inflammation. Also, a lot of red meat can cause these symptoms. So knee is so complex that you must look at it as it could affect the other joints as well. If you are ending up with knee, that doesn't mean that's the end. But we are very successful with knee pains, knee joint, as long as the patient comes into the window of recovery and it's not so degenerated area that they've lost completely all collagen, and now the patella is sticking to the outer bone of the femur and tibia, and that recovery sometimes can take then only you to surgery. Yeah.
So do you see patients once maybe they've had some treatment from the hospital or the doctor?
Yes.
And at that point, you maybe take over?
Yes, with scar tissue, because it is so painful. To have a knee surgery, they probably won't tell you, but it's literally like paper staples going into your skin tissue. And there could be anything up to 30, and those are extremely extortionately painful. So yeah, we work with deep scar tissue and they do recover. I'm working with my patients from Toronto, and they've recovered amazing. And the doctors actually questioned them that, oh, you got very good healing. And then they said, oh no, since March we started taking a couple of products that we posted out, and their scar tissues healed very well. And initially they just kept quiet, but then they gave away the reason what led to her speedier recovery. And sadly, the COVID came in, but she's not back to work yet.
All right, okay.
So, but that gives her even more time to heal, huh? Yeah. So with Ayurveda complexes that we do in the clinic, they can vary, and that will reduce your pain, but also help with mobility. Then there are powders we give you, there are cream applications we give you as well. and the liquids are amazing that you just need to have half a teaspoon twice a day to reduce the pain. But also we have a tri-light treatment in the clinic, which is a dome-shaped treatment where your knees will be undergoing this light treatment to help to rebuild collagen. So that's so amazing. But it also helps removal of any fluid or inflammation or stress in that area. Obviously, it is repeat treatments. Is never one singular treatment that will work with such a complex area of your joint, the knee.
What about knee elevation, putting the knee up when you've got a problem?
But that's more for
Reverse.
swelling or just reducing the tension on the back of the knee as well, as long as you can put pillows at the back of your knee as well. That's temporary, because the moment they'll probably start walking up and down again, the inflammation will trigger off again. Huh? Yeah. And with the naturopathy, we build up the tissue. With Ayurveda, we help to regenerate collagen and stop the pain as well. And then obviously diet obviously plays a big part. Everything starts with diet. Now, why did that knee even get to that point? I know we are in a damp country. England is seriously damp, and that can affect. So we do need warming things and warming herbs. A lot of things are in our grandma kitchen cupboards that we don't use. And a lot of, I mean, as the Asian cooking always involves herbs, but it appears that we kill them so much in intense cooking of creating so much heat while preparing food, that most of the potency of these herbs and powders that are used are destroyed. Hana? Yeah. So when you have knee pain, you need to avoid putting pain on it, or stop the sport you're doing for a while. Sometimes people are passionate with their sports, but yeah, physio and osteo can help, but doesn't help with as much as Ayurveda would or the Tri-Light would to rebuild the collagen. That's where this treatments of ours come in. And sorry for the gentleman who said in a minute, give us our number is 079 886 37295. I repeat, it's 079 886 37295, and we'll keep repeating this, Racy, throughout the show for people. If I'm too fast in speaking, I try to slow down, but it's just a habit, isn't it?
So right, we repeat it anyway through the course of the program anyway.
Yeah.
Problem.
And as the saying goes, prevention is better than cure. So if we are saying something, I'm saying it from experience, or I'm saying it for you to be able to understand what you can stop eating and what you can introduce to help recovery. Sometimes there's a window, but when, like I said, if it's gone too far and it's dried up, then sometimes it's we would advise that there's nothing further we can do. Then it has to be surgery. Yeah.
Right.
And
surgery is always the last resort anyway.
It's always the last resort. A lot of surgeries are happening in India, people going over there and getting them done, but some come with extreme pain, some come with much improvement. And that's when NHS doesn't want to take care of that anymore, because we've actually gone out of their hands, isn't it? And gone for a surgery that was not recommended. It is available in UK. However, it's a huge overload because there's a massive waiting list for this. Yeah.
Really? It must be a very common problem then.
It is so common. Like I told you, there's no age factor or gender or ethnicity. It doesn't play a part. But the more richer food, the richer meat products you have, those can affect that area, and obviously intensely could be injury or lack of exercise as well. Yeah, stagnation of lifestyle can also help where the cartilages dry up. We do a variety of massages as well, where the Ayurveda massages work. There are special oils that we use to help reduce the pain, and then after days the patients will notice that they are more mobile, and the heat from the oils that are that generate through that the Potli pouching massage time helps to create warmth in the tissue, and the muscles can start repairing, because it's like a knitted fabric, like knit one, purl one, just like your jumper fabric. And when those fabrics break up, it's like they are all over the place. And when there's too much vacuum created, there could be stagnation of fluid.
Right.
Yeah, and that's where when a surgery needs to be taken place to remove the fluid. But if it is not stagnation of fluid, it could be just a lot of stagnation of broken bones, as we mentioned in the first part of the show. So it's so complex for everybody. It varies, and you just got to be so grateful for this amazing body that God has given us. And it's
Indeed, yeah.
it's so complex, Racy. When it comes to pain, you need to avoid putting weight, as we said. Try to do the hot and cold pouches of massage as well yourself, but obviously be very mindful and don't burn yourself. Or raising the leg with cushions can help release that pain, but that doesn't mean it's healing process. It will just mean for that temporary moment you are not saying ouch. Yeah.
Time for a break, Manjit. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Okay.
It's just come up to 12:20. If you just switch the radio on, good afternoon. This is the Vitality and Health Program with Manjit Kaur. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call 01753531016. You can also watch this program on Facebook Live and or the Asian Star TV YouTube channel, as well as all our other platforms. So you can give us a call if you've got any questions on knees today.
Asian Star 101.6 FM.
This program is sponsored by the Vitality and Rejuvenation Clinic, IVA SL09DB. Call Manjit Kaur on 01753 651 475 or 07988 637 295. Email Manjit at manjitkaur51@yahoo.co.uk.
आएगी नहीं बल्कि आ चुकी है आपके सपनों की रानी, आपके दिलों की धड़कन। साथियों, मैं हूं अनु फ्लोरा और आप मुझे बरसों से सुनते आ रहे हैं ऑन योर फेवरेट रेडियो एशियन स्टार रेडियो, जो कि सुना जाता है स्लॉ में 101.6 FM पर और दुनिया भर में अपने नाम का लोहा मनवा रहा है इंटरनेट के जरिए। अभी आप फौरन ऐप डाउनलोड करें और बाआसानी प्रोग्राम को एंजॉय करें। मैं आपका दिल बहलाती हूँ एवरी मंडे टू वेडनेसडे दोपहर 1 से लेके शाम के 4 बजे तक।
A police officer.
Someone who protects the people.
Protects the vulnerable.
Focused on doing the right thing.
Building trust in your community.
Representing one.
Representing all.
Someone who is there in times of uncertainty.
Every day is different.
As a police officer,
you can make an impact.
Now's the time to make your difference. Become one of the 20,000 new officers. Search Join the Police.
I don't think they're ready for this one.
Asian Star 101.6 FM. Online and streaming worldwide at asianstar1016.co.uk and on 101.6 FM. The Asian Star Revolution has started and you're part of it.
This program is sponsored by the Vitality and Rejuvenation Clinic, IVA SL09DB. Call Manjit Kaur on 01753 651 475 or 07988 637 295. Email Manjit at manjitkaur51@yahoo.co.uk.
Asian Star 101.6 FM, DAB Plus, Manchester, Birmingham, and on the Asian Star radio app and online and on the Facebook. Right now we are broadcast streaming live if you want to see the program and on our YouTube channel. Manjit is here with the Vitality and Health program, speaking about a very important part of the body, the knee, the goda. So if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to call her and she'll give you some advice. So where were we, Manjit?
We were just talking about how raising the leg with using a cushion at the back just to support it for that time and moment. That doesn't mean it will heal. It seriously means that it's reached a point where it's holding fluid and you need to just become more cautious with what you eat, how you move, where you put your weight on. Often people, when it starts hurting, it's a human nature not to use that part of that joint or that limb. It could be an elbow area, it could be a leg, and you start limping. And when you make that conscious habit of doing that every day, then you're creating another problem. You're actually disturbing the balance and the alignment of your hip, And now
yes.
that could lead on to that joint rubbing together and over time would lead on to a hip issue as well. Because you're now elevated a little bit. Even when you're 1 inch out of elevation, the body does not like it.
I didn't think about that. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay.
It's amazing how the body at every half inch and every inch, it's structured in such a way that things are not there mishmash. They're all there, and one part or like this gentleman who called Baljiji for the tendonitis. At the back, for the Achilles tendon at the back. And, that is such a complex area that he would be limping now. And he's probably been doing that for weeks or months. And when you do that, then over time, you are then creating a weight-bearing joint problem to the other side of your body, So one of my patients who had diabetes also ended up with, he used the wrong pair of shoes, and as it rubbed on both sides of his little finger, it's actually in my book as well, it ended up that he was going to have amputation of both his feet. Yeah. And that was
that's horrible. Yeah,
that was 2018. Yes, January when she called. So I got to the to Wrexham Hospital and told him he needs to get out if he wants me to treat him. And they just needed a chance and gave an excuse to leave. And within 2.5 days, it wasn't bleeding. It started repairing with our Tri-Light treatment. I literally used to do that treatment for about 4 hours a day in his premises because he was not moving. And in that moment, he even ended up having knee joint pain, which wasn't there. So we worked with that. We worked with the healing and the base of the feet. And about a little bit over 10 days later, he walked back into the hospital, just walking with normal open slippers, very little, just a sleeve on bandage, and they were shocked at the recovery.
Wow.
And then we worked on the knee as well. And there he is back, a big man, a tall man, but back to reality, having not lost both his feet. Imagine that that would have left him with, because he only had, it was a Wednesday when they approached me, got him out of hospital, and Sunday he was actually he was signed in already for amputation.
Wow, that's incredible.
That would have been an amazing, and it's actually in my book as well, in Health Haven book. For those people who are on Facebook now, this is a book you can get from Amazon, or call me directly on 079 886 37295. I repeat again, 079 886 37295. A lot of young ladies and children who were in sports as well, free from pain now. And I've worked with a lot of dancers and ballerinas as well, who actually support with their toes and the knees and the hips actually take a lot of weight, and they do end up with early retirement. And especially those who are doing gymnastics don't have a long shelf life with their sport.
Yeah, and they start very young, so there's no doubt. There's no doubt they can finish early in their careers.
Exactly. The wear and tear is horrendous, so you got to be mindful of that. You love your sports. Anything you do over in excess, obviously, in competition does bear a pain issue as well there. So the swelling could also lead to surgery as well, or total knee replacement, which is very common, and very common with Punjabis, to have a knee replacement. For some people, that knee replacement could be a life changer. That means if they exercise enough, a lot of people don't. After surgery, they do recover well, and is
it due to the lack of exercise? It's more prone in Punjabis.
Yes, and a lot of acid food as well. There's a huge amount of acid foods in our diet. We'll go through those through the last part of the show as well, and that's where it comes to. A total replacement could, like we said, could be about anything up to 30 staples, literally pins
put painful
in the shin area. It is very painful. In fact, they suffer more from that than the internal injury. But then we work with the scar tissue inside. to help quick repair. Like we said, it's knit one, pearl one, and their recovery in the healing process is so much quicker. Races had just a bit of a laugh. So how do the intervention we do is we'd help reduce the severity of the pain and the painful weight when you're walking, or reduce the redness, help to reduce the heat around your kneecap, or the numbness and tingling as well. Sometimes when they actually walk, they get a little shock in the knee area. X-rays and MRI scans are fantastic to show the severity of the wear and tear of that joint. And from that, even I could actually decide whether I even want to take that challenge or not, which is great to give hope when you know there is room for recovery.
Absolutely, yes.
Isn't
indeed,
it?
Yeah.
So that comes to our... the passion of work that I have is to see rewards. And sorry, last week we were speaking about fertility. And whilst we were speaking, I missed 8 calls on this phone, which was only down to 2%. As soon as I switched it on, she went into early labor. She didn't know, poor girl, bless her soul. She's from India, and she thought it was just one of those moments where she had just wet herself. And I thought, oh, bless. And that was very good news. So she delivered a very healthy boy.
Wow. Congratulations to her. Well, there's some great success stories there with Manjeet. Now, if just for our listeners, if you want to give her a quick call for a very quick advice, but you can visit the clinic, do call us right now on 01753 531016, Punjabi ch bhi gal kar sakte ho, or English. Not as good as my Punjabi, obviously, but you will have better Punjabi, no doubt. But if you want to call us in Punjabi, most welcome. And Manjeet is here. She is a master of, jack of all trades is the right word.
For the body.
So today is about knees and gode. कोई problem है तो आज phone करके मंजीत नाल गल कर सकते हैं.
Bilkul. So run the clinic number again, 079-886-37295. A lot of people tune in a little bit later and say, I didn't hear much. Obviously, I need to thank your office as well. Some people have managed to get the number from you, and that's when I find out a little bit later that they couldn't catch the number. The youngsters are good. They'll just go on social media and internet and find my number. It's there. But and that's really great news as well when they can connect with us and find another solution to their health. But then this sometimes doesn't stop there, because arthritis of the knee could lead on to arthritis of the other parts of the body. So be mindful that if you've saved yourself from one or had surgery and that's recovered, that doesn't mean you go back to your bad habits again. It means you're vulnerable, and because your pH levels are acidic, the body thrives so well in alkalinity. But when your body, the blood is floating around with acids, or is not on an alkaline level, then there's more tendency to eat away joints and ligaments and the cartilages. And if you're vegetarian and pure vegetarian, that doesn't mean we are going to give you fish products. With all respect, we do have vegan products as well. And with this, the opening now, we are doing distant sitting and social distancing in the waiting area. Otherwise, phone consultations are also very welcome. We can give you advice on how to approach us, and I give ample of time, at least an hour minimum over the phone, to listen, to understand, and to help you give the solution, and then to send the remedy in post.
I think most people always find that they want a bit of time with their, if you're the consultant on the day, they want to spend that time. They want you to give that time so that they can offload all of what they need to.
Yes.
And some people don't get that.
Yes.
They don't have a 10-minute consultation and that's it.
8 minutes.
Done.
Yeah.
So it's nice to know you give an hour.
Exactly. It is an hour, never is less than an hour, but the total time could be anything but an hour and a half by the time we've made the preparation and dispensed it, and then given instructions, and then given them some mindful things about their food, diet, and nutrition. It all plays a major part. It never is one thing. There has to be changes in the lifestyle, because if you're not ready to change, that means you're not ready to receive positive healing energy. And if you're stuck in the mode of negativity, then you need to just understand that doesn't help with healing. Everything in the mindset, you can do so much. Every morning we do a connection with the Reiki and healing and meditation, and I'm getting so much feedback from all the people who connect, and a lot on Messenger saying how amazing they feel and how much and we worked with knees today, and I thought suddenly this morning, okay, it's going to be a show about knees because I worked with pain, and somebody spoke about pain about the knees. We worked with Reiki healing around the knee area, and I thought, well, that's a show for today. And that's how we decide.
That's how you decide your show content.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah, according to public demand, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But very informative, and it's something that, it's an everyday thing and happens to a lot of Punjabis, like you say.
Exactly.
And we have a lot of Punjabi people that listen to the show, so it's a very good thing and a very good topic for today, no doubt.
Exactly. Yeah. So, food plays a big part and it's the biggest culprit for every ailment, isn't it just, Hannah? So there are bad foods. Obviously, one needs to reduce weight as well because that plays a big part in the knee-bearing joint. Weight becomes a big issue. Then you need to become mindful. And that also is done with a structured diet. It's not an overnight fix that we can shrink you. It's you need to become proactive with the suggestions we make and the diet we give you, and it's not that we're going to say, oh, become vegan because you're non-vegetarian. There are some good non-vegan foods. So
yeah, sure.
For those who are listening and for those who are vegan, we are not going to force you to go into non-veg kind of products because all our products would be mostly vegan. But otherwise, we could always suggest if it's important. And if you say, well, in form of dawai, I will take it. And dawai khaan de vich harza nahi aega. You're not eating the flesh, but the extract of those oils or the powders, then we respect that too. So just to boost your confidence up, acupuncture also plays a big part. So we do acupuncture as well. That will help to shift up the urea and uric acid, which is so common in people, and help you to reduce the pain as well. Acupuncture plays a big part. Obviously, there's a big part of digestion because maldigestion of food will build up more acids, and then bowel movement. If you're constipated and have serious problems with your bowels, that could also lead on to pH levels becoming acidic in the body. So become mindful of that. All these things play a big part, Hannah. And then obviously when we're looking at foods, we'll be giving you some advice now, but that doesn't mean this will be reflected to you. It might be when you come to us, then we would make more one-to-one suggestions. We all seem to be taking haldi or turmeric, but right now I think in the Asian food it's seriously killed because the one ingredient in that is burnt on high flame. And a lot of women will say the haldi, the turmeric powder, should be cooked in the onion, and that's where they destroy the healing properties.
A lot of goodness goes from the natural products that we consume via high flame, like you said.
Exactly. And then heating disperses that, the most important ingredient in turmeric, and it sticks around the walls of your kitchen and the ceiling. So try to consume it naturally as well, but we'll talk about that in the other half of the program. And then looking at fried and processed foods, which is a serious problem in our culture as well, but everywhere in the world right now you'll see the high streets opened and people will be rushing for white flour foods which are processed
food,
and these don't help. And then a lot of sugars and high sugar or sugar actually eats away joints and eats away cartilages. Just imagine that when you eat sugar, anything sugar, it converts to alcohol. That's the chemical change of sugar. So become mindful that if you are having and taking chocolates and sweets, you just need to reduce them and go for more 85% of dark chocolate if you really crave for it.
That's right,
And then looking at alcohol, serious problems with people on high alcohol, it does affect knee joints as well because it's going to affect the liver over time, and that will then swim away the blood, surge it with acids in there, and it does not convert your food to alkalinity because your digestive enzymes are affected. Dairy plays a big part. So, I'm a kind of a non-dairy person. So, but there are so many other amazing options of almond and soya milk and coconut milk. And then looking at sodas, we are not naming any one brand. It's been known that even putting a tooth in a glass of this fizzy drink, one of the black drink has eroded the enamel.
I think there's a video online for social media. Many people have seen that when they put a particular, they put a rusty nail in there and it just corrodes in the acid.
Yes.
In the coke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So things like that. So we can imagine
how it does, what it does to the body.
Yes.
It's shocking. So I hope children are listening. Pink salt is what we always advise. White salt is a killer because
Pink salt, never heard of it.
Oh, Himalayan pink salt. Oh my God.
Okay.
And it's better so for beautiful. Amazing. Yeah.
Is that crystallized salt?
Well, it's granulated, so it will dissolve. Yes, you can get them in crystals as well. These salts have been there in the mountains where thousands of years of process has helped to make these salts in natural environment with all the coppers, the magnesiums, the calciums in these salts are amazing. But again, don't add pink salt when you're cooking food. Add it afterwards. Again, then you're going to kill it. You see, everything that we're doing is through heat process, just finishing and probably putting it down to even less than 50%.
Manjeet, it's easier said than done, isn't it? Some of the Asian cooking requires it. What can you do?
Put it after you've cooked.
But it's not the same.
Of course it is.
No?
Yes. You're adding. It's just great. It's not that by adding
salt. The taste
salt,
is not the same. Surely.
Is.
That's why people put it in and cook it. No. I know, but I totally agree with what you're saying. It does kill all the goodness, and we should do it afterwards.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying why people do it, and it's because
it's
of the taste.
It's a habit.
Is it?
No, the taste will be there, Racy. Bet your bottom dollar. The taste will be there.
I have to agree with you. All right.
You just need to become...
I won't bet against you.
Make a salmon fish and add pepper and salt at the end. Oh, it'll be so amazing. And you'll taste every bit of it. And you'll say, wow. It's just getting, your taste buds and habits of a housewife changed. That is very important.
Must stop you right there. Quick time for a quick break. Back for the last segment of the show. It's all about knees today with Manjeet Kaur.
Asian Star Radio is Regional Radio Station of the Year for a third time. Your triple award-winning radio service, serving Slough, Windsor, Maidenhead, Heathrow, Bracknell, Uxbridge, Gerrards Cross and surrounding areas on FM, online, on mobile and on social media with more listeners every day. Asian Star 101.6 FM.
This programme is sponsored by the Vitality and Rejuvenation Clinic, IVA SL09DB. Call Manjit Kaur on 01753 651 475 or 07988 637 295. Email Manjit at manjitkaur51@yahoo.co.uk.
ਕੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਥੱਕਿਆ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਰਦ ਵੀ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖਾਣ ਪੀਣ ਤੋਂ ਜੁੜੀ ਤਕਲੀਫਾਂ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ? ਚਿਹਰੇ ਤੇ ਰੌਣਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਤੇ weight ਵੀ ਵੱਧਦਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ? ਅੱਜਕੱਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੁਝ ਉਦਾਸ ਵੀ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ? ਹੁਣ ਕਰੋ ਆ ਸਾਰੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮਸ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਪਾਸੇ। ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਆਓ ਵਾਈਟੈਲਿਟੀ ਐਂਡ ਰਿਜੂਵਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਲੀਨਿਕ ਤੇ। ਸਿਹਤ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਤਕਲੀਫਾਂ ਲਈ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰੋ ਮਨਜੀਤ ਕੌਰ ਨੂੰ। ਸਾਡੇ ਵਨ ਸਟਾਪ ਕਲੀਨਿਕ ਤੇ ਆਯੁਰਵੇਦਾ, ਕੋਲੋਨ ਕੰਡੀਸ਼ਨਸ, ਐਕਿਊਪੰਕਚਰ, ਬੈਲੈਂਸ ਡਾਈਟ ਤੇ ਬੈਲੈਂਸ ਨਿਊਟ੍ਰੀਸ਼ਨ ਨਾਲ ਉਪਚਾਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਡਾਇਬੀਟੀਜ਼, ਕੋਲੇਸਟ੍ਰੋਲ, ਬੀਪੀ, ਜੁਆਇੰਟ ਏਕਸ, ਇੰਕਰੀਜ਼ਿੰਗ weight ਐਂਡ ਡਿਪਰੈਸ਼ਨ ਵਰਗੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਬਿਮਾਰੀਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਰਾਹਤ ਪਾਓ। ਸਰਟੀਫਾਈਡ ਹੋਲਿਸਟਿਕ ਐਂਡ ਨੈਚੁਰੋਪੈਥੀ ਐਕਸਪਰਟ ਮਨਜੀਤ ਕੌਰ ਨੂੰ ਕਾਲ ਕਰਕੇ। ਵਾਈਟੈਲਿਟੀ ਐਂਡ ਰਿਜੂਵਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਲੀਨਿਕ। Call us on 079-886-37295.
This is a message from the government about the next stage of controlling coronavirus with NHS Test and Trace. To protect your friends and family, testing and tracing must become a new way of life. If you have symptoms, you need to get a test immediately. Don't leave home for any other reason. If you test positive, we will contact you to trace people who you might have infected. From now on, if you're told you've been exposed to an infected person, you must self-isolate for 14 days. Play your part and do the right thing so we can safely return to a more normal life. Go to nhs.uk or call 119. Stay alert. Control the virus. Save lives.
This programme is sponsored by the Vitality and Rejuvenation Clinic, IVA SL09DB. Call Manjit Kaur on 01753 651 475 or 07988 637 295. Email Manjit at manjitkaur51@yahoo.co.uk.
Asian Star, and it's a good afternoon to you. In the last segment of the show, you're joining us if you're listening in Manchester or Birmingham on Dad Plus. Good afternoon to you. It's that health show every Tuesday with Manjit Kaur. sure she's talking about knees today. So it's over to her as we're in the last segment of the program.
And the last segment is exciting always, So
Always
talking
is.
about
Finale.
the naughties and the nices. So that's your patience pays off. So try to avoid red meats, and doner kebabs are seriously,
Oh, come on. We must have it now and again.
Yeah, the odd red meat is fine, but adding a bit of hing to bring the fire. Yeah, and nightshade vegetables like aubergines, potatoes, peppers, and tomatoes. There are some quality tomatoes I would advise, but we won't give them right now. And these, the moment people eat aubergines or peppers, they will come back and say, "Oh my God, I had it last night. No wonder I was in so much pain." Obviously, low vitamin D plays a major part when there's increased risk of osteoarthritis as well, and that could also be available in some good quality foods that we would advise you, but also some good products. Don't go for cheapy products. Very good for having good fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, a bit of haddock, sardines, and then almonds are very good antioxidants as well. Sunflower seeds high in vitamin E to
As long
help.
as you're not allergic to nuts, I suppose.
Yeah, hazelnuts are very good. Peanuts in small form, and spinach, omega-3s, these are very important. They are good products that we advise, and the Ayurveda range that we have, it's amazing how people feel, and then they'll say, well, I'm going to take 2 bottles of each just to see me through this winter as well, just in case. Extra virgin oil is highly advised, and the best quality would be always in a glass bottle. Never go for a steel or a aluminium can, because it's cheaper out there. And walnut oil, which is actually 10 times more omega-3 than olive oils. So walnut oil is very good. Use it on your toast, or use it straight in the mouth. It's pointless. I wouldn't cook with it, but I would actually add it on a toast, and using a bit of coconut oil on a hot toast is so delicious.
Wow.
It's absolutely delicious.
Are these tips in your book, by the way?
They are, but not on specific, like this one is totally tailor-made for this condition today.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah. Cherries are amazing. Yes, they are in season, maybe a little bit expensive, but very good for gout as well. And it has got very good anti-inflammatory properties. Red fruits and vegetables, red vegetables are very good. Blueberries and blackberries, try to at least have them 3 times a week. These are all precautions. That doesn't mean, that if you're having these foods, you may avoid it. It may mean that it may improve your symptoms and may have a longer shelf life for your knees to survive.
Good.
Low-fat pre-hung yogurt is much advisable than normal yogurt. So look out for pre-hung. It does say on the pot, because there are less acids in those pre-hung yogurts. And then going for good cheese like feta cheese, halloumi cheese, or goat cheese, which is very good. And avoiding dairy, as we said. Leafy greens, don't kill them. Just stir fry the spinach, but as soon as it starts getting rid of the water, stop the cooking process. Otherwise, you're going to kill the most amazing healing properties in that. And then broccoli, try to go only for organic. It's high in vitamin C and K as well. But then flax seeds are very good for mobility. Again, these things are being had in our diet, but I guess there's the way that people are actually consuming them and killing them with the essential oils. When you heat these seeds up too much, you're actually going to dehydrate those oils which are there for bone building. Sprouting your grains are very important. So if you are sprouting your dals like mung and masur and mot dal and chickpeas, that's amazing properties of high protein. Citrus, blood red oranges are very good. They should be in season now if you look out for those. Grapefruit is very good, but more for pink grapefruit than yellow grapefruit, which is high in vitamin C. And when you are having oatmeals or oats, try to go for gluten-free and try to reduce as much as you can, less wheat during the week's diet, and go for other grains, all which I advise my patients when they come to us.
And this is all good for your knee?
This is all good for the knees. Yeah,
okay.
These are all good for. And brown rice and red rice, much more better than white rice. It is.
I think generally all the food that you've listed there is good for you generally all over, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not just the knee. It's good for you, for your organs, your internal organs. It could be
Definitely
good for the heart, etc.
Yeah. So maybe we can just give a little bit of more warming is like methi. If you can soak them in warm water and drink, eat the methi and also drink the water, that's good. Having a bit of methi, fenugreek leaves, cook them gently, lightly, maybe in a bit of organic small potatoes rather than large potatoes. So if you are avoiding the nightshade plants and vegetables, like we said, then go only for the small potatoes and not the big potatoes. Aubergines, if you seriously want to have them, then go for the small ones and not the large ones, because they have been syringed with hormones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for them to just expand. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So it's best to go for the smaller ones.
Just best to go for the smaller
That's good
ones.
advice, yeah.
If you really want to. And peppers, the only one I would suggest is a red pointed pepper, the very large one. The bell peppers do attack the knee joints a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, people would notice pain, or they would feel their mobility would be restricted in the daytime or by evening. So those are the foods, but probably then also going for a good herb tea, like if you take 2 glasses of water, in that add in grate in at least 3/4 ginger, and you do get fresh turmeric as well, which is called fresh haldi. Grate that as well, or chop it and add it into this water. You just need to simmer it a little bit and then close it, adding in half a teaspoon of fennel seeds, half a teaspoon of coriander seeds, and a little bit of fresh mint. Brew that up, close it, sieve it, and drink it. Or
Wow.
you can add a little bit more of fresh turmeric powder, turmeric powder, about a 1/4 teaspoon and a 1/4 teaspoon of honey. And that tea would never be repeated again, because it is something I would give to my patients. So you need to listen to the show back again and get the recipe.
These are magical ingredients to these wonderful potions.
Yes, and they do work. And like I said to you, Racy, people are killing the amazing property of turmeric. I was on my way to Huzur Sahib and to visit and do darshan of one of the most amazing temples where our 10th Guru went and visited, and it's still there. And on the journey to that Gurdwara, there must be about half a mile before we even entered the town, I could smell the haldi, the turmeric.
Wow.
So much fresh turmeric. I had never seen in my life that turmeric has so many different shapes and sizes. All I knew was the kind we get here in UK. And wow, the fragrance before you even enter the village was amazing, and the heaps there.
Lovely.
It was exciting to see that we are so close to nature, yet we destroy everything. And the way we cook, in the mode we eat, or in the mental stance we eat, even that can destroy the goodness of the food. So always platter your food in an exciting way and consume it, but chew it as well. If you don't chew, then the food is going to be just wasted away.
There are people who just swallow it quickly.
Then they just gulp it. Gluttony, that's like glutton. Just like a glutton, just throwing your food in doesn't help, because there's no magic mixer in there. So for people who want to get more knowledge from my Health Haven book, that's available on Amazon.com. But we also do amazing lotions and potions and creams and complexes. So I'm an Ayurveda practitioner, but also do acupuncture. We have the Tri-Light treatment, as we said initially, that works for the body, that works for the joints, that works for inflammation. It's worked amazingly for people who even had abscesses or facial acne problems. Tri-Light is amazing. And then we use a lot of Ayurveda, different range of massages. So my clinic number, again, I'll run it, is 079 886 37295. And if people even want to connect with me for every morning 9 a.m. Reiki healing and meditation, we will
You
take
do that
it
on a daily, don't you?
every day. Yeah, it is time consuming, but I then took this challenge from somebody saying, well, we just needed this kind of Reiki healing is not anywhere. So I thought, okay, fine, it does take my time, but the reward is the feedback from the the people who actually connect is just amazing.
Let's get it worldwide. I mean, we've got some listeners in Dubai listening right now who they find the program very informative today. They're listening in Dubai.
Okay,
so
they're actually messaging you now.
Yeah, they have.
Wonderful.
And, Mr. Ali Hedder, thank you very much. Listening from Dubai, he says very informative program and appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, send some warm weather this end. Yeah. So again, my clinic number, I'll run it for people who haven't heard it or just tuned in while you were traveling or just sat in the car, is 079-886-37295. It's 079-886-37295. Racy, nothing has happened overnight. It takes years for this kind of a huge patella bone to degenerate. And the only time you will know that something's happened is when there's a pain. Body will only tell the human being that there is some sort of disease or some sort of onset when there's a trigger factor of pain. And then your brain says, oh my God, it's painful and hurtful. And that is a message to say that you need to do something. So always look for alternative choices. There's so much amazing stuff out there. And years of, thousands of years of Ayurveda remedies and potions have been created by these amazing Veds who have sat there and they used to grind them. Now we got machines to grind and help us create these powders with which we create liquid potions. So for anybody who's still hesitant to say things are under lockdown, we are doing one-to-one consultation. You're very welcome to book in, and it will be done at a distance with all the other precautions followed up. But you also get very good advice and you get diet support as well. Because anything to give a remedy and just say go home and use it without giving them a diet, it's like they could eat it or drink it at the wrong time. And instead of giving more instant 1 or 2 hours recovery, it could take anything up to 12 to 48 hours before they even ingest that remedy. So timing, your lifestyle plays a big part. And one thing is just become mindful of what you're eating. Everything I come here and dry my throat up is trying to harp and give you information. And even if you can take 40% of it and start using it, it will start benefiting you in the long run and for a healthier lifestyle as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. You're indeed right.
And with each consultation, my aim is to get the patient involved and for them to pay attention and listen to their body's needs with the health and vitality. And the more toxic they are, the longer it will take. So never compare your one condition with another. The same with what foods are right. That's what we suggest as well, because illness doesn't happen overnight. Your breathing, your way of sitting and eating your food, if you're slouching too much, that will affect. And then the cellular energy through oxygen that you would get through meditation and healing as well is very important, because there you're sending a huge amount of oxygen to the cells that are going to carry your nutrition. Absolutely. If you have a stagnated lifestyle and you are not into good deep breathing, that will take longer for those nutrients of those products to get to you.
Right. A minute left to summarize our program for today, Manjeet, if you may.
So your health is your wealth. Never let it tick away, or always address it in time, because the longer you leave it, the longer it is going to take to recover. So, and that's when you actually start becoming a victim of chemical products. Painkillers are fine for once a while, but not regular. I'm getting people who are probably on 4 to 6 paracetamols a day, and now they're down to 2 or just
brilliant.
1. Somebody actually called and said, I've not had a paracetamol at all. And I thought, thank God, what the hell were you?
We thrive on those.
Isn't just, people just, even during this time, people rushed out to get was painkillers, isn't it?
Indeed.
Yeah. And anti-inflammatories.
Right,
just in
that's
case.
it. Our time is up, Manjeet. Thank you very much. And we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday.
Yeah. And just run my email, manjeetkaur51@yahoo.co.uk.
Thank you. Anu Flora is next.
This program is sponsored by the Vitality and Rejuvenation Clinic, IVA SL09DB. Call Manjit Kaur on 01753 651 475 or 07988 637 295. Email Manjit at manjitkaur51@yahoo.co.uk.
जिथे चलूंगा चलूंगी नाल तेरे पे टिकटां 2 ले लें हुण 2 टिकटां लैण दी जरूरत नहीं हुणे डाउनलोड करो एशियन स्टार रेडियो ऐप अपने स्मार्ट डिवाइसेस ते